What stop what?
The light from my iPhone like that. It won't
Yeah.
go live.
Okay. It went.
Yesterday? No.
Hmm?
No, yesterday?
No.
Do we guess? Do your own guess?
There you go. I don't guess today.
We are our own guest today. Let me do that first. Running. As that's done. We're ready to roll on time. Take it away. Yes, Lord.
Hallelujah. 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 Bless you, bless you, bless you. Be king, be Lord. Reign and rule. Take your place and be majestic and powerful, omnipotent and omniscient. Come into this place today. Fill this place with power, presence, grace, wisdom, and understanding. Touch the listeners, God. Bring listeners from far and near. And use us as your instruments to meet the needs of the listeners. We decrease and we say, Spirit of God, increase. Not our will, but your will be done today. We commit this show into your hand. And Lord, before the beginning of time, you knew this show would have been aired on April 17, 2017. And we speak your plan, your will, into being today. And we say, thank you. Thank you for this platform. Thank you for Vibes Up Radio. Thank you for the listeners. And thank you for us availing our lives to do this work. Amen.
Simple prayer works. Simple prayer works.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Like yesterday, I preached at a church, New Beginning Ministries. I say, yeah, Resurrection Sunday, everybody come for your resurrection message. I don't have a resurrection message. My message, that's good. My message was simple. If God can't fail, you can't lose. Very simple. If you trust in God and you saying that God cannot fail, if that's where you confess it, well, then you can't lose. Simple.
GT Express, alongside Gold Stone Entertainment, Tessa from Queen of Queens Beauty Salon, DJ Sniper, and Janet, aka Classy Diva, brings to you the original 4th annual All Nationalities Are Welcome Guyana Link Up Party. Guyana Link Up Party.
My daughter, she don't tell me nothing, she keep it quiet.
Danger Vibes, Famous 21, DJ Sniper, and Team Mix Up. For tickets, call Tessa 347-749-3566, Sniper 917-826-5481, Janet 347-933-7339. This event is sponsored by Vibes Up Radio HD, Queen of Queens Beauty Salon, Mr. Copy King, and Wilmore Liquor. Remember, all nationalities are welcome, and you don't have to be a Guyanese to link up. Just link up. Link up.
Ladies, want your hair to stand out from Tired of looking for a company to ship your barrels to the Caribbean and all over the world? How about dealing with one company, one bill, a company that can assist with ordering and packing services? Well, look no further. People in the tri-state area are headed to King Solomon Logistics. King Solomon Logistics, located at 135-14 Liberty Avenue, Queens, New York, zip 11419. We ship worldwide and state-to-state via air, land, and sea, specializing in door-to-door in Trinidad and Guyana. We offer a free pickup service in the tri-state area. Other services are money transfer, mailbox, barrel sale. Sea cargo takes under 4 weeks to the Caribbean and under 2 weeks for Europe. Air cargo takes 2 to 3 business days. We do moving and packing services, 24 hours answering service. When you take shipping, moving and packing services, think King Solomon Logistics. Visit us today at 135-14 Liberty Avenue, Queens, New York, 11419. Or call 718-658-1187. That's 718-658-1187. King Solomon Logistics.
Looking for a cleaning service that's reliable, dependable, and trustworthy? Let me introduce you to O&G's Cleaning Service, where we provide cleaning services for home, office, and commercial space. O&G's is specialized in transport cleaning, deep cleaning, and much, much more. Our staff is equipped, respectable, and responsible. Call O&G's Cleaning Service today to see what we can clean for you. Telephone number 908-605-6469. Or visit our website for more information, www.letscleanforyou.com. Don't stress. Leave the mess to the professional. O&G's Cleaning Service. Talk Time with Sharmin will air each and every Monday from 6 to 9 p.m. EST, right here on www.vibesupradiohd.com. Sharmin is a passionate and dedicated motivational speaker and coach who travels across the United States motivating, empowering, and coaching individuals to reach their potentials. Sharmin brings life experience and education to her craft. She is currently working on her dissertation to complete her PhD in general psychology. Do you need help getting to the next level, fulfilling your dreams, or achieving your goals? Tune in and meet Sharmin as she infuses the airwaves with knowledge and encouragement. Sharmin will discuss topics that are taboo and help us remove the masks that we wear to hide our experiences and truth. You can share your views and suggest topics of interest for Talk Time with Sharmin every Monday on www.vibesupradiohd.com. Don't forget to download our free app on all your devices. Also, feel free to join in on the conversation by calling us up at 718-342-0510. Log on to www.vibesupradiohd.com and listen live and share your thoughts on the discussion weekly. You are encouraged to use the chat box to add your input to the conversation. Welcome, Sharmin.
Live from New York City, it's Vibes Up Radio HD. Happy Sunday. Vibes Up Radio HD welcomes you all to our Soul to Soul and Classic Oldie Sunday. Please don't forget about our Sunday cook-up pot, where you can call us up and let us know what you're cooking. We start our day off with Sunday morning gospel.
There is power in the name of Jesus to break every chain, break every chain.
Then our live DJs take over at 9 a.m. Play the best in oldies. Soul to Soul. Rock steady, baby. Classic reggae, just to name a few. Sundays is where you and your family can put your feet up, kick back, grab a glass of wine, and listen to some great music from our live DJs. Our phone lines are always open, so you can call us up and spread spread some love or requests. Our telephone number is 718-342-0510. Oh, by the way, don't forget about our Hot Topics, which starts at 6 p.m. with our live DJs. It's real hot and spicy. Please don't forget to download our free app for Android and iPhones. Or you can just log on to us and listen to us from anywhere in the world at www.vibesupradio.hd.com. Soul to Soul is sponsored by Wilmore Liquor, 1162 Wilmore Street, Brooklyn, New York. Queens of Queens Beauty Salon, 339 Rockaway Avenue, Brooklyn, New York. Mr. Coffee King Incorporated, 341 Rockaway Avenue, Brooklyn, New York. From our family to yours, happy Sunday.
I'll walk away from love once more. I do it every time.
The Sunday Night Mix-Up Show. The Sunday Night Mix-Up Show. With the divas of the Sunday Night Mix-Up Show. The Sunday Night Mix-Up Show features weekly discussions about topics that are important and purposeful to our current society. The discussions are led by conscientious and inspiring individuals who complement each other by adding their own unique touch to the discussions. So join us on the discussion every Sunday from 6 p.m. to 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time by calling 718-342-0510. Don't forget to download the Vibes Up Radio HD free app and listen in or log on to www.vibesupradio.hd.com. You can also find us on the TuneIn app. Find us on Facebook at The Sunday Night Mix-Up Show, on IG at The Sunday Night Mix-Up Show, on Twitter at The Sunday Night Mix-Up Show. The Sunday Night Mix-Up Show. Talk to me, Vibes Up Radio HD app is now available for all smartphone devices. Download it now for free and take us with you wherever you go. Subscribe to our YouTube channel. Follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Or just log on to our website at www.vibesupradio.hd.com. You are now logged on to New York City High Energy Station, Vibes Up Radio HD. That's the vibes on the streets. Now back to the music on the #1 station that's rocking the streets. VibesUpRadioHD.com.
Yes. Ha! A pleasant good evening to each and every one of you out there. We welcome you once again. Yes, we are live. This is Talk Time with Sharmin. Yeah, you tune into Vibes Up Radio HD on your dial. Get the app in the App Store. If you on TuneIn Radio, you can take us live on TuneIn. You can also listen to us live on Facebook Live if you are on my feed, if you're on Sharmin's feed, or if you are on the Vibes Up feed. Yeah, I think we which one of the Vibes Up we running on? The Sunday Night Mix-Up, or which other one we running on?
I guess, I don't know.
You check all of them out though, because you never know which one we are on. If you're not seeing us there, just join the next one. All right, so we welcome you once again. Today is Monday, and as usual, every Monday from 6 p.m. until 9 p.m., we do the taboo subjects. And we have a wonderful show for you this evening. Let's introduce Ms. Sharmin. Good evening, Ms. Sharmin. How are you?
Good evening, Pastor Peter. I am great, and how are you?
I am blessed and highly favored with a little flavor.
Oh. I haven't seen you in a while.
That's technically not true.
Really? When was the last time I saw you?
See? But that don't count because that was just a running.
Yeah, that really don't count.
Yeah.
But how have you been?
I've been great. Can't complain.
Okay.
So this evening topic we're talking about.
We're talking about things affecting the family, and it's like we have two topics in one.
Mm-hmm.
Social media relationships, which I think might dominate the show.
All right.
And wives preventing husbands from maintaining their relationships with their children from previous relationships.
interesting topics.
Yeah, and I received a few calls today about the social media relationships. And some of the information that I've received stunned me, Pastor Peter.
Wow.
Stunned me. Because there is an underground Guyanese culture that many of us are not familiar with.
Wow.
And I think the moral fabric of the society, earlier I wanted I was thinking if I should say it's torn or it has disappeared. But we'll get into the discussion later. So that's our topic tonight. These social media relationships where both men and women are developing intimate partner relationships via social media. And when they get into these relationships, some of them, that's when they really see the true person. Because, many people live this social media life, fake life on Facebook, and it's not who they really are. And so there are quite a number of cases that I'm going to share throughout the evening.
Okay.
And it's vice versa. Some men in certain countries are conning women because they know some women are so vulnerable and desperate.
Right.
And they're conning the women and having women emptying their savings account, sending it to them. So this is a whole new phenomenon that needs to be explored by researchers. So welcome everyone to Talk Time with Sharmin.
Phone number?
This phone number here is 718-342-0510. Again, 718-342-0510. Thank you all for tuning in tonight. Those of you that have tuned in via the internet, thank you. Thank you for those that are live on Facebook or listening on your app. On Saturday, one of my old school classmates told me that, while he is on his way home on Monday evenings, he listened to the show. So, hey, Maurice, good evening, and thank you for tuning in. I have a letter that I want to read that I received, and I'll read it sometimes at some point during the show. So, Pastor Peter, take it away.
All right, so we're gonna start out this evening with the show anthem.
Oh, I haven't heard it in a long time.
Take it off. Take off your masquerade. Oh, la, la, la. I wanna see your face. Oh, oh, oh. Show me who you are. Yeah. On my masquerade. Show us who you are. Show us who you are. Show me who you are. I'm master masquerade. Show us who you are. Show us who you are. Show me who you are. Hey. You keep on lying to yourself. Keep destroying yourself. Make you think you've made it, but you're only faking it. You walk around with pride, but deep down inside, you are living in debt and a lot of regret. You are caught up in yourself. You're pregnant up to your head. You are fake to wealthy life, and it's hurting you inside. Yeah. You will fake the perfect family, fake the perfect wife, while your house house is not a home. This is what you should do. I must masquerade. Show us who you are. Show us who you are. Show me who you are. I must masquerade. Show us who you are. Show us who you are. Show me who you are. Hey. You wanna solve people's problems, but can't solve your own. You're in everybody's business. You neglect your own. You are hurting inside, but you're hiding with a smile. No one knows your problem, so you think it's alright. You think that driving big cars, living in certain neighborhoods, will make you very significant in the eyes of your friends. No, we want to see your big smile.
Yeah, this is the show anthem.
Right is on mask. You are
Unmask the masquerade.
You've been hurting for years and years. I'm not the masquerade. Show us who you are. Show us who you are. Show me who you are. I'm not the masquerade.
For somebody, tell somebody, tune in. Lag on. www.
Show me who
vibesupradio.com.
Take it off right now. Take off your mask right now. We wanna see your face, your face. I'm tired of the lies,
Those of you that tune in on Facebook Live,
lies.
just share the link, share the link.
Hear me right now, right now. Take off your masquerade. I'm not the masquerade. Show us who you are. Show us who you are. Show me who you are. I'm not the masquerade. Show us who you are. Show
It's a beautiful day outside.
me.
I know the weather is getting very beautiful.
I wanna know.
All the players gonna come out to play.
I wanna know.
We talking family values tonight,
Oh,
folks.
see this lies in your face, your face. I wanna see who you are. I wanna know who you are. You are. Take it off. Take off your masquerade. Oh, la, la, la. I wanna see your face. Oh, oh, oh. everybody's business. You neglect your own. You are hurting inside, but you're hiding with a smile. No one knows your problem, so you think it's alright. You think that driving big cars, living in certain neighborhoods, will make you very significant in the eyes of your friends. No, we want to see your big smile, but behind is so mask. You are hiding your tears, you've been hiding for years and years. About the masquerade, show us who you are.
Yeah, that's right.
Show us who
It's time for you to unmask.
Show me who you are, amongst the masquerade. Show us who you are. Show us who you are.
Don't forget the phone number is 718-342-0510.
Take it off right now. Take off the mask right now. We want to see your face, your face. I'm tired of the lies, tired of all the lies. God wants to heal you right now, right now. Take off your masquerade, I'm masquerade. Show us who you are. Show us who you are.
Yeah, that's right. You gotta unmask the masquerade. This one is reaching out to all those young ladies out there that have been through an abusive relationship. But you're not in that relationship anymore. This one is reaching out to you.
No more hurt, no more pain, no more cloud, no more rain. Won't you help me sing these songs of freedom, songs of freedom? I'm free again, now I can see again, free to be again, and I'm free to dream again. I'm free again, now I can see again, I'm free to be again, I'm free to breathe again. You're running now, never think I'll get it. And no more worries to this stress, let me sick I'll get it. No more lying, coming down, telling friends I'll get it. And no more body, I'll be in that way, I'll get it. I'm free again, now I can see again, I'm free to be again, and finally I'm free again. I'm alive again, now I've got it. I'm feeling like fire again, love is gracious, love is kind. Some even say that love is blind, but even love can turn to hate. Abusing me with the understanding I was sorry when you were gone. I danced your dance, I sang the song, but it's over now. You broke the chain, set me free when they called my name. Let me on your mind, you got it. Disrespect me from the eye like your friends are later. You say you're sorry, so let me go on my bed. I was lost, but now I'm free again. Now I can see it. Free to be again, and finally free again. I'm alive again. Now I'm quiet. I'm feeling like fire. Love's on one side. No more fear, now take a leap again. And no more worries to distress, let me sick again. And no more lying, I can't tell the friends ahead. And no more buying, and being now again. No more stories and no more lies, and no more chances to apologize. It's over now, you broke the chain, set me free when you call my name. I'm free, I see again. I'm again.
Yeah, that's right. You tune into Talk Time with Sharmin. Yeah, that's right. Don't make it him, tell you that he love you, and then disrespect you in front of all your friends, reaching out to all the young ladies out there this evening. This is another one that's reaching out to you. Don't make anything pull you down. What? I lost my song? That's not good.
Well, maybe it's me. I'm not the girl from the magazine. Every time I trust love.
Good evening, Mr. Melville. Welcome to the show. Please share the link.
Heartless, I feel I'm not worth it. No air, breathless. I'm told I'm gonna make it like a bird falling. Gravity pulling me down, but his hands keep lifting me up. Higher, higher. I'm never gonna touch the ground. Gravity pulling me down, but his hands keep lifting me up. Higher, higher. I'm never gonna touch the ground. I lose control every time I try to do it. 'Cause on my own, I'm always seem to blow it. Running around in circles, trying to find what's not for me. Now I'm frustrated, trying to hide what I'm feeling. This joy in my life is not my own. Gravity pulling me down, but his hands keep lifting me up. Higher, higher. I'm never gonna touch the ground. Gravity pulling me down, but his hands keep lifting me up. Higher, higher. I'm never gonna touch the ground. My hurt, my tears, my pain, my fears, all try to keep me down, all try to weigh me down. Never gonna keep me down, no, never gonna keep me down. Gravity pulling me down, but his hands keep lifting me up. Higher, higher. I'm never gonna touch the ground. Gravity pulling me down, but his hands keep lifting me up. Higher, higher. I'm never gonna touch the ground.
Yeah, that's right. His hand's gonna keep lifting you up. You will never touch the ground. Don't forget, this is Talk Time with Sharmin. We got an interesting topic discussion tonight that we're gonna get into in a few minutes. But in the meantime, reaching out once again to all the young ladies out there.
Promises he makes, he keeps. He's my strength when I am weak. Listen when you speak, give you everything you see. He doesn't lie, he keeps it real. Walk the time, pull out his medicine. God is the big man for me. Lift up your hands and your head to my dream. Hey, I gotta believe my life, gave it all for me. So I'm there, who's always there at my back.
already on the Monday evening. Today is the 17th of April. I know Guyana is big holiday, Easter Monday.
Where's that song coming from?
Headphones.
Okay.
Yes, a big holiday in Guyana, Easter Monday. But you know what? We want to talk about some family values today. We got Miss Sharmin back here, and I'm gonna let Miss Sharmin just jump right into it. Those of you that's out there that you on the on the live feed, you can share the link. You can put your feedback, share your comments. You can also call us at 718-342-0510. All right, and get into the discussion because it's good for everyone. Okay. So, Miss Sharmin, we're talking about this evening.
But before we go into the discussion, I wanted to share. Of course, I wasn't here for the last 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Because I was actually in Grenada raising awareness for child sexual abuse and domestic violence. So it was amazing listening to that song that you just played. But our topic tonight is things affecting the family, social media relationships, and wives preventing their husbands from maintaining the relationships with their children from a previous marriage or a previous relationship. So that's what we'll be talking about tonight. But I have this letter that I hope I can get through it without,
Choke it up. Get it out, little teary eyes.
Yeah. Because
Okay.
last night when I read it, I was like, oh, I hope I can read it today without tearing up. So here is the letter. It says, I felt compelled to write a brief history, giving my testimonial. People in general frequently write disparaging letters when they have been wronged, less so when they have been rescued. More on that in a moment. Over the past several days, there's a video gone viral of an older gentleman aboard a United Airlines plane forcibly removed from his paid-for seat. Apparently, UA overbooked the flight and needed to remove 3 passengers. As crew members randomly selected bodies for removal, the gentleman's luck ran out. He refused to comply with the crew's order and the police were called. You can easily guess what happens next. The gentleman would not leave, so 3 burly police officers physically pounced on the gentleman, threw him to the floor, and dragged him out. Mind you, no crime was ever committed, so no arrest could have been made due to the fact his seat was prepared. Now, imagine a 2-year-old with a stubborn will. Most, I presume, defying the will of an adult. That adult and protector of this child, in order to get the child to comply, physically imposes his will on his child, mostly through physical violence and sometimes through psychological terror. Unlike the gentleman on the airline, the child has nowhere to go. This adult, whom I know as my biological father, physically beat me without mercy, using his hands, his foot, or with any available instrument within reach. Curiously, never a belt, because belts were too wimpy for this career military officer. Modern psychology insists memories are terribly unreliable. Yet, in my case, the physical marks which endure to this day are unmistakable. I continue to have vivid memories reflecting back to my childhood. In fact, the only memories I have of my first 15 years of existence was the sole purpose of being annihilated by this imposing adult. Many years later, enter Sharmin Prince, whom I have now known for quite some time, and yes, she knows my situation intimately. After nearly 4 decades of counseling in psychology, psychiatry with hospitalizations and psychotherapy, Sharmin Prince strolled into my life. I've never told you this, but that's me. Our encounters have been life transforming. You have made me a better father, a better brother, and a better person. It is not for your, if not for your sage advice over the years, I would be in a state of perpetual despair. For years, I felt I had no value. Sadly, I would treat others based upon my flawed perception of reality. To fill this emptiness, I would often drown my pain with cocaine. You see, cocaine made me confident and self-aware. Cocaine made me feel. As I navigate through the sojourn we call life, I've discovered courage. Through courage, not macho BS, often displayed by pop culture. It is a very rare commodity. You have this unique quality in abundance. I don't know where or how you got it from. That's me, I guess. I do. I don't know. Where you got it from. Perhaps it's genetic or perhaps it's divine inspiration. Nevertheless, to share your courage live on the radio every week is breathtaking to behold. How many more souls have you reached from despair? We may never truly know. Stripped down to our bare essentials, many of us, I suspect, are lonely, petty, jealous, covetous, and also sacred souls, which may be why we wear masks. We all have to serve somebody. We either serve our families and by consequence the human race, or we serve our own vain desires. I often ask myself, what kind of person, what kind of legacy, what kind of life's lessons will I bequeath to my children, given the diabolic narcissist which currently occupies oh White House. Okay. It is imperative we strip down to our bare essentials and know ourselves. Shakespeare said, "To thine own self be true." Only works if we actually know ourselves. Otherwise, we're serving false idols. Sharmin Prince, with your perpetual optimism, you have somehow forced me to remove my mask and confront my personal demons. How have you accomplished such a task? I'll never know. You have rescued me from a life of misery. In a world where it is easy to take the innocence of a child, there must be those who fight for the defenseless. You fight for all who do not have a voice or cannot muster the courage to fight back. Here's hoping Talk Time with Sharmin have a long life.
Great. And sometimes when we think they're not listening. Once again, folks, welcome to Talk Time with Sharmin. If you just joined us, we have an interesting topic tonight. We'll be talking some family values tonight. All right, you can participate whether you want to drop a line in the live chat or you want to give us a call at 718-342-0510. You can do that.
Well, Pastor Peter, after that letter, I read that letter last night. I didn't get to the end because I got a little emotional. Yes, I did. And I couldn't read the end of the letter, so I was wondering today if I would be able to get through it, and I did. That's the purpose of this show.
Right.
I can only share me with you, and I guess I have so much of me to share because I've had so much. I have so much life experiences with trauma. I think I shared with you guys before what my therapist said, that I'm a miracle. But however, I survived all of that so that I can share with you. Now today our topic, the first part, I've had two people really pressuring me in the past to talk about these social media relationships, and I kept pushing it off because I'm like, I'm no expert at that.
Right.
But after an occurrence last week, and then a third person said, Sharmin, this needs to be one of your topics, I decided that yes, I'll do it. Because one of the stories that I'll share, this guy saw this beautiful girl on Facebook.
Right.
He was in a relationship here, but the eye candy caught him. He went wherever she lived, got married to her, brought her up, I think within a year. They're not married for very long. Wow. And he did not know that he married a train wreck. Because when she got here, the behaviors that she exhibited, he had no idea that was a part of her character. So after less than 3 years, the marriage ended.
So they had a Hollywood marriage.
They had a, if you call it that.
They don't.
And then this other guy who is separated from his wife went to Guyana and spent 20 years in the Navy. So he's a Navy vet. This is a guy that spent 20 years on the water. Went to Guyana. Of course, he met some girl, so he goes every 6 months. Went to Guyana last week, or the week before. But last week, they went to the creek. And when they were leaving, he said, let him go and get his last swim. And according to the reports, he didn't surface, but he surfaced later with a lump on his neck, the back of his neck.
All right.
Now, remember how I prefaced this story. This is a guy that spent 20 years in the Navy. So he knows about water.
Right.
He's a Navy vet that spent 20 years. However, he's dead. And he went to Guyana, to meet his girlfriend that he also met on Facebook, social media.
Okay.
So we have all this. This is a new phenomenon that is taking over our culture, our society.
Yeah.
It is impacting relationships. It is called, I was reading a research that was done in 2015. It is causing relationships to end because they are both men and women that are on Facebook, on whatever social media, and they're meeting people. Right. And the temptation is I just remember the story today. Some people cannot resist the temptation. The temptation is irresistible for some. And so, it's causing a lot of problems.
All right.
So today, I was talking to someone, and they said to me, some women, and I'm speaking about Guyanese women, they're Guyanese, and when I'm saying women, between age maybe 18 or 21 to like 25, has taken this social media relationship on as a job.
Wow.
And they are calling it work.
Really?
They are the employers. And yes, it's work.
Wow.
They spend hours a day working by targeting men on social media. And when they target you, they flood your inbox with nude pictures, and then they gradually escalate or increase their presence. They would, they would ask you to give them some top up, the minutes.
Wow.
And then the needs increase. It's extremely strategic.
Right.
Now, many of you may say that, for me today, that was like a culture shock. Because I'm like, are you serious? In Guyana? 21, here is a new subculture within our Guyanese culture that is being cultivated, and it's tearing away at the moral fabric of the society.
Right.
Now, these are some of our leaders of tomorrow.
They call it a job.
It is a job. They call it work.
Wow.
So we go to work for 8 hours,
right.
And some of them may be spending 8 hours working on their phone or whatever,
right.
On the men in social media.
And I would say I'm pretty sure a lot of them are married men.
But of course, and those would be their targets because
right.
there is no commitment, if not married men that are in committed relationships.
Right.
And the thing about it, despite the woman, these young women are seeing women on the arms of these men and know that they're in committed relationships.
Right.
It's not a deterrent. It's not deterring them from pursuing the man.
Wow. They're bold.
Yes, they're bold. Thank God for social media because you don't have to do nothing much.
Right.
Just take out some nude pictures and you send it to them.
And I bet you a lot of them don't even send pictures of themselves.
They do.
Yeah.
Yeah. They do. Because it's an enticement for you to get to go to Guyana. And so when you go to Guyana, you get to meet them in person.
Okay. I get where this is going.
Yeah.
I get where the building up is going to.
So here we have this whole new subculture. We can blame it on social media, but I don't know. It's worrisome that you know that a man is married. Wives. If some of you go into your husband inbox, you might be surprised, but don't do that because I don't want them to blame me. I don't want them to blame Miss Prince.
Sharmin told me to do that.
No, Sharmin didn't say to do that. Sharmin said that, if you go in, you might see some stuff. But my concern is these young women that has lost their sense of value and material things, and it has taken over, and it doesn't matter what you do anymore to get by. Is it the economical state of the society? Is it the culture? What happened to our society that some of our young women has resorted to this? And it's causing people's marriages because, I'm going to make a little statement here that those nude pictures, when you guys get it, you get all excited and you quickly, book a flight and you go to Guyana.
Don't do it.
Some of them have. There was this one guy who went to Guyana, went to Palm Courts, of course, got two young girls. When he got to his hotel, maybe they give him, I don't know, they drugged him, and when he woke up, there was nothing in his hotel room.
Wow. Wow. Business gets serious.
So, and a lot of us are oblivious of this this subculture that we have in Guyana. We're oblivious of it and the impact it's having on our relationships, on your relationships, on your marriages, social media. Your husband went to school with, or your husband met his first girlfriend or his first love on social media, and your relationship is being impacted by that. Or your wife met her first boyfriend or a boyfriend that just disappeared, and she's rekindling that relationship just by talking, and then they want to see each other.
Wow.
And it impacts your marriage. My question is it worth? I mean, it's kind of the thrill of having that virtual extramarital relationship, or virtual cheating, or virtual infidelity that actually becomes real and impacts your relationship. My question is it worth it? Is it worth your investment in your marriage or relationship? A lot of times we think that, we're going to get away with this. No one would know. But there is nothing hidden that would not be revealed it's going to be revealed somehow or the other.
Yep.
Right? I hope for you guys that are listening, I hope when you meet these young girls, you're demanding an HIV test. And if possible, when you need to see 2 HIV tests within 6 months. You know, one 6 months ago and a current one. Okay, so I can't say that you guys shouldn't. I can, but we've had stories, we've had cases where people left their relationship, healthy relationship, went to wherever. You know, some of them got married, some of them got into the relationship, and then they lost what they had.
Yep.
Please, guys, you just have to be careful. And ask yourself if it's worth it. So, let me see. I have some feedback. Sharon Jane says, wow. I do not think that this is new. It's another form of the oldest profession. No, Sharon, I didn't want to say that because our Guyanese society has glorified this known number one. They call her the number one Guyanese prostitute, and they you know, when I look at her, I see a mental breakdown waiting to happen. They've glorified that. So a lot of these young women, I don't even know if we can call it prostitution, because it's like, you know, some of them, they may ask the man and for whatever for a while, and they may never get to meet the person. And I think that's what they're capitalizing on. Icing on the cake if the man goes to Guyana and they meet, or whichever country, because I'm sure it's not just Guyana. You know, whichever country they go and they meet in person. But this is something that we have to be careful. Look, secure your relationship. I don't know how secure you can secure your relationship with social media and what is happening. And it's not like your partner or your husband is going and looking for these relationships. They are actually seeking your husbands out. They choose their targets. Mm-hmm. And I guess they know which target to choose. You know, where they might get the most out of, where they'll be able to, who they may be able to milk.
Right.
So they are choosing their targets. And 21, you know, I just hope that at some point they wake up and not wait until they're in their 30s to say, okay, I need to get it together. 18, 19, 21, 22. And these are the pictures that the men are getting in their inboxes, you know. And I'm sure they have nice bodies, so the temptation would be irresistible.
Wow.
Pastor Peter, that's all you keep saying.
That's all I can say. Wow, because I mean, depending on individuals too. Like you said, you know, they're not going there looking for it, but you gotta be very careful of what is it that you're looking at when they send these things to you. You know, because if you blank it in the first place and you don't entertain it, it would not able to manifest anything.
But how many men are able to resist that. Not many.
No.
Not many. And then if you, let's say you ignore Kim, but then Pam sends you on, and they might be working in a group.
Right.
Because if it's a job, there might be an agency, you know? So they might be working in a group.
Yeah.
And as a group, they're like, oh, so I target him and he didn't respond. You send yours to see if he's going to respond. And then after 5, 6, 7, you're like, oh, okay, what the heck? Let me look at this.
Start to entertain it.
And then you start to entertain it. So Kimberly, the topic is the impact of social media relationships, and women who prevent their husbands, we haven't touched that one yet, who prevent their husbands from having relationships with children from a previous marriage or relationship. But right now we're talking about the social media relationships, the relationships that are being formed on social media, the young women from Guyana that are sending nude pictures to men that they have targeted, and they are calling that a job. It's a job. It's work. So they might sign on they work for 4 or 6 hours a day. This is work for them.
Wow.
It's work. Ty said, it is not about blocking the young ladies. It is a cottage industry, and you may innocently hook up with someone in real space, and then your info is shared and you fall victim. So, I mean, I was actually, because I didn't know. I mean, I would get inboxes from young ladies that would ask me if I want to view their webcam, and I'll block them immediately.
Right.
I'm sure they send that out to a whole lot of people, including men. How many men can resist that? Even though they might have a beautiful wife lying next to them in the bed, they're there looking at these pictures. I mean, 21-year-old may be weighing 90 pounds. You know, she looks good. You can't resist that, right? And the person you're lying next to is 3 or 4 times her weight. And we just got to be realistic, but when do you stop? When do you say, okay, enough is enough? When do you draw the line? And now you're the time that you spend with your partner, you're no longer spending with your partner because you have this distraction. So if you guys talk for 30 minutes at night, you're not talking for 30 minutes. You might be talking for 5, because 25 minutes have to be spent with this new attraction. Right? So it's impacting your relationship. You don't spend time with your significant other. You're not spending time with your children because of this new distraction. So how do you fix that? The number here is 718-342-0510. Is it worth it? Is it worth giving up your relationship and the sacrifices that you've made? Calling, you can call us back. The number is 718-342-0510. Is it worth it? Also, guys, I'm picking on the guys. Calling your life. Welcome to Talk Chat. Good evening. Hi, Ty. How are you?
I'm good. Nice topic. But I'm sorry you came upon it so late in life. This has been happening since social media has been invented. And I know you and I have talked about doing a cybersecurity course, which I'm working on with somebody who is an expert in the field. When I present that to your audience, they walk away well educated on preventative measures, because our aim is always the preventative measures. You know, for those of us who are older, we remember that there were social media sites like i5 and MySpace and all these other things. Facebook is kind of young compared to these other platforms, and Facebook popularity displays those platforms. But I remember while I was stationed in Germany on MySpace, the number of Guyanese women and men who were practically prostituting themselves on these platforms, right? And those platforms weren't as developed as Facebook is, that allow privacy and that sort of stuff. Facebook, in its expansion, has broken down so many barriers and what's that. Like I said, sometimes you may innocently meet somebody in real space, talk to them. It may not even be anything sexual and whatnot. And you may, some of us like to run at our mouths when we sit down and talk about things. And we share a little intimate piece of our lives. You may be having some marital problems or girlfriend problems or boyfriend problems and this different kind of stuff. Now these people are so cunning. They take that information and they process it and they pass it and they share it. They may not be successful with you, but they will continue barraging you, and the flesh is weak. Eventually you start giving in. Especially if you're in a relationship where you're not getting the attention that you need to get. You become susceptible. So when somebody's paying you the attention that you expect at home and you get into these total strangers, it's a natural human instinct. I like to say all human behavior is natural. It is natural when you are longing for something at home, and it's not at home, you find it out the road. And when it comes out the road, it often comes very well gift wrapped, tailored to you. And because we're so emotional that we don't pay attention to what's going on. We fall victim. So this is you basically only touching the tip of the iceberg. The man that was hidden under the water will require 20 shows to begin to start unravel what this whole phenomenon that you just touched on is all about. It is so endemic today. And it starts in innocence, And like I said, Facebook, in its platform, in its drive for privacy, which I totally respect, because I help people test a lot of that privacy features and what's that. Helps people to be able to do these things and what's that. And then you have the feature which is part of this called sexting, where you exchange nude photos of yourself, and then people use these things to blackmail you, right? And so while we may have the fellow that went home to Guyana and after 20 years of expertise in the United States Navy, drowned in a bottle of water, so they put it, we don't know how he was prepped before going back into this water and this different kind of stuff. But it's a great topic that you're not going to be able to recover. And like I said, I'm working with some experts to get great information that we can be shared and how people can protect themselves against all these different kinds of stuff. Such as software ransom, where they seize your computer and instead of innocent information to read, and all of a sudden they take over your computer and you have to pay them set some money. So it's an entire cottage industry of exploitation that's going on there. And we already have said in our comment, it's the world's oldest prostitution, finished prostitution, the oldest profession that has taken on a 21st century approach. All right?
But Ty, what was surprising to me is that I guess I never thought about virtual prostitution. I'm gonna give it a nice hat. I never thought about that. And our young women that has taken on this, and they call it work. So like how we get up and we go to work and work for 4 to 6 hours or 8 hours, they're getting up every day and investing that time.
Let me ask you something that I know many guys don't know that happens right in Guyana. Guyana has a lot of what is called call centers, right? And you have things like, I'm not going to call it names because I don't want anybody trying to sue us. Right? Because you mentioned their brand. But when you dive into the back of these call centers, part of these call centers are doing exactly what you're talking about. While they're masquerading as being overseas arm of customer services for their credit cards and other entities, the bulk of what they're doing, because Guyana has such a perfectly spoken English, right? The bulk of what they're doing and raising in money is exactly what you're talking about, right? We need young ladies and young men with nice feminine voices to go to work at these call centers, and their job is to exploit out of you, you know, and they have these quotas that are set. If there was a corrosion in Guyana, because Guyana has lax laws, right? And Guyana is a 21st century country operating on the 18th century mechanism, right? So people can go in there and do anything sort of stuff.
That's it.
And especially when you have a public politician and you have people who are saying, and you go in there and you talk, so I'm going to set up this big building here and I'm going to employ 400 people around the clock. Well, you know, any politician wants to waiting son will say, well, this is a great employment opportunity. I'd like my name attached to this. You know, let's help move the laws and get this project off the ground. But they never dive into the background of what these companies and what exactly it is that they're offering. These people come in, they promise to pay all these to provide all this employment and stuff. And they do pay some lovely salaries. I think the average salary for the call centers is about $65,000 by week. And which in a country like Guyana with poverty is so high, that's a nice little salary to be drawing. And then all you have to do is sit down and talk. Well, I think we have to talk on the telephone with people. You know, so it's something that is not only prevalent in Guyana, the Philippines is having a problem with it too. You know, because Philippines also speak a nice English, and what is being taken to is the exoticness of these locations is what is being taken.
But the impact it has on relationships and marriages, and children. There's so much that is involved that I don't know if our men are really thinking about that when they're being drawn into these social media relationships at the expense of.
In my investigations, I don't tell you this. While the men are primarily in the business, right? We must often trace this to the source of where the problem is. And a man out there falling victim to a cyber relationship like that, where he gets exploited, where he gets abused in his family, you have to ask what was happening at home that made him become so successful. I'm not blaming everything entirely on the whole, because you got to totally investigate this thing, because there's something that made him decide. And there's some men who just, as you put it, I candy, and run at things because they have no other thing to think, because they just really a licorice just like that.
Oh, okay, because I was about to say that sometimes they have the perfect home, but their wives or their girlfriends has gained a couple of pounds over the years, and here is a 21-year-old sending you a nude photograph with a body that is flawless.
Yeah. It's been created in Adobe
Photoshop.
It could be.
And then when you show in person, it's some, you could just say some oversized match.
Like the TV show Catfish.
Right? So, you know, the humanity is hard to combat in this particular thing, because it's nice guy. I'm like, who the hell are you? You know what I'm saying? And then you send your private email address to me to talk to you. So I always respond to why you can't talk on Facebook. You know? So why do I need to email you to this private email address that you sent me this thing? Why you can't talk on Facebook? And so you have to be aware. You have to look at the English that is used to write these things. Because often what is done is a translation document too, right? That translates a lot of English. And that's why I think Guyana and the Philippines, because they speak such good English, are prime areas to have this particular activity to nourish like this, right? But and then if you look at both countries' cyber laws, Guyana is now trying to get the cyber laws, and what the Philippines have some, but they're not strong enough. And so if the countries don't have cyber laws, and we don't have fixed penalties for these different kind of stuff, and there's no investigating and oversight bodies, yes, you're going to see a lot more of this happening before it is corrected and curtailed and stop seeing it. And then men and women need to stop being there for well agreed. If you're a woman at home and your man at home with all a few extra funds, you got to join the gym together and work back to the body that's you know. You know,
But that's easier said than done.
I know.
You know, that's easier said than done. But of course, sorry about that. As always, Ty, thank you, and you'll be here next week.
Yes, I will.
All right.
Great topics for next week.
All right. Thank you.
All right. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
All right.
Guys, I know we always, just as Ty said, that, you know, sometimes something is going on home. Sometimes nothing is happening at home. You just got sucked in.
Makeup.
Yeah, you just got sucked in, or, you know, you got sucked in with the you know, the little girls, the babies, I would call them, those nude pictures, you know? That's it. That's all I can say about that. Like Sharon said, sometimes some men have steaks at home, but they would go outside to eat. I forgot what she said, how she put it. But yeah, you know, you might have steak at home, but you choose to go outside and eat some fatty pork. Some, you know, not even the pork shoulder. You know? And you may have a T-bone steak at home. So it's for me, it's not even about what's happening home.
Right.
Why? I don't know. Just don't know. I'm still in shock. Because of this thing, it's a job, so I sign on to the computer and I spend my next 8 hours and I have my targets and I'm just working at it until I get some results, even if it's just a $1,000 credit or $2,000 credit on my phone. At least I got something for the day.
Yeah.
And we can look at the psychology behind that. Look at the mentality. What has caused our women to think so low of themselves that they would do that? The economy. It's economic. They want to wear the brands that women are wearing, or some women can't even afford in the U.S.
All right.
And they're not willing to be gainfully employed or legally employed to fulfill those needs. So the number here is 718-342-0510. 718-342-0510.
I mean, of course, Ty mentioned about the call centers. I did heard of, you know, these call centers, but I never really knew what is it that was going on there. You know, Yeah, but it's so sad. It's so sad. But nevertheless, all across the whole wide spectrum of social media, we have all these kind of things because we have husbands leaving their wives and go to Jamaica, go to Trinidad, go to Guyana, go to different countries because of what they see on social media and who they hooked up with on social media and the promises that they got.
Well, remember when I started, I told you about this guy that got all these promises about this woman, and of course, she's eye candy,
Right.
beautiful young woman, but he didn't know she was a commoner. He didn't know that she could strip him with her mouth, and she didn't care where he was, who he was with. She would just curse him out because that's who she is. And he had no idea. And then she got here. She likes to fight. He wasn't able with the physical fights that she would just choose to, fight with him. He wasn't able with that. And then eventually she went out and she got into a relationship and told him plain, I have a man.
Wow.
And this is within 2 or 3 years of their marriage. And he left a healthy relationship with a woman here to go and get this beautiful young woman.
I know of a couple that been married for quite a few years, and Facebook has brought back the first boyfriend in the picture. But it wasn't true. The individual did not just get hooked up with the boyfriend because the boyfriend wasn't on the Facebook. They got hooked up with one of the family member. So the family member now, was the middleman now to cause the link back to the first boyfriend. Now, this is a woman that is married to a man that they're, have their life together here. And whatever conversations start to go on with the first boyfriend,
she gave up what she had.
Yeah, she realized, I never stopped loving you. It's just that we lost contact and I could not find you. So here she is. She want to give it a try again.
Wow. Calling your life. Welcome to Talk Time with Sharmin. Same to you, Ricky. Happy Easter, and I hope you enjoyed your Easter. You enjoying the topic?
Yeah.
Okay, Ricky, thank you for being such a faithful supporter to Vibes Up Radio.
Yeah.
Thank you. And keep tuned in, okay, Ricky?
Yeah.
All right then. Good evening.
All right, Ricky, take care. Bye-bye.
Ricky's so faithful.
All right. Yeah, so here we are, Sharmin. So now, imagine what the husband is going to be going through now when she comes and she says, you know what? I want to end this marriage.
Wow.
Because I met up with my first love. The love never died. It was always there. And I want to give it another try to see where we're going to go. Because the separation was not break up. The separation caused through migration. then if you knew that all the time, why did you even get married?
But Pastor Peter, that's such a common story
Mhm.
that you're hearing with Facebook, especially Facebook, because you might not have the person may not be on Facebook, like the case you pointed out,
Right.
but their relatives, and then the relatives would call, Peter, who I saw on Facebook, Sharmin,
Mm-hmm.
and then Peter got in contact with Sharmin
Yep.
and forgot that they had lives that they were leading.
Mm-hmm.
So she divorced her husband.
Divorced her husband.
Mm.
They didn't even care about whatever the man is going through. There's more to the story, but that I don't want to share that on air because I don't know, I don't have no permission to do that. So
No, but that's fine.
but I mean it's something that happens. So not just one individual.
Yeah, I heard that. I heard
it's
quite a
many
few.
individuals that it happens to. So it is like back in the days, if somebody, a couple might be having a problem with someone, whether it's a woman or a man that is infiltrating their relationship, you might say, all right, you know what, I'm gonna move from here. I'm gonna move to another state. I'm gonna move to another village or whatever the case may be. So you won't have no contact with that individual. That been long gone.
Now it's social
Not
media.
with social media anymore.
Because if you let's say, okay, I'll come off of Facebook. You have other forms of social media, that that you can get on and
Yep.
still stay in contact. I mean, but you have to know the value of your relationship. You have to know what has this relationship done for you, and if you make a mistake and your partner decide, you know what, I'm walking away, what would you be losing? And what you're trying to gain, or the relationship with the first boyfriend,
Right.
can it equate to what you have? Because what is love?
Or how do we value our family life?
Yeah.
What is the value that we place on it? How do we see it?
Well, I guess some of us don't have any value to value for the family and for what you have already built with someone.
Right.
That you would allow it to, you would lose it for some feelings that you had 20 years ago. Really? 20 years ago, I had this little notch. I wasn't even as matured as I am now. And I'm going to equate that and choose that over what I have. When the feeling that we call love disappears, and you realize that it's not love you're getting into a relationship with, you're getting into a relationship with a human being that has a mindset. And can you handle the mindset? Could you? Because you may be marrying your boyfriend from 20 years ago who hasn't grown. And you've grown, but because you having little butterflies in your stomach, and you think, oh, I'm still in love with him. But then when you start to see that he hasn't grown, what are you going to do? Run back to your previous relationship?
And there you go. But the thing is now to the story too. The first love, it's a few years older.
Oh, ouch. But, if I meet someone that I've had a relationship 20 years ago, right? I was 30 then. I'm 50. I have grown. I don't know if you have grown, even though we've had a good thing together. I have to explore your mindset because that's what I'm getting into a relationship with a mindset.
Mm-hmm.
And can that mindset fit in mine? Are we compatible in any way? Don't worry with the butterflies in the stomach, you know. As
Right.
Ty said, in Guyana we have this old saying, old fire stick easy to catch. Well, some of us may have so many fire sticks burning, we'll cause a fire.
Mm-hmm.
It would be blazing.
That'll be a bonfire.
But I can't follow me. Because if I build a relationship with someone and I have a good relationship, a good thing going, and I saw some old boyfriend, I don't know if I can choose that over what I have. Because I built what I have.
Hmm.
The number here is 718-342-0510. Again, 718-342-0510.
Also remember, if you're on the live feed, you can put your comments. Okay, you can put your feedback, put your comments. We'll read your feedback, we'll read your comments, okay? 718-342-0510. Got any feedback yet?
I have quite a few. Okay. Well, when I said about the guy that went and got his eye candy, Sharon said beauty is sometimes skin deep. Seville, hi Seville. Seville said throwing diamond away to pick up pebbles.
Wow.
As Ty says, Sharmin, the old folks say old fire stick easy for catch. So 20 years since you last seen someone is nothing. Hey, that fire for me, there are no sparks. And the wood is so old you can't even, you know.
I don't even got holes anymore.
Lisa said, I simply love this topic. Sharmin is reiterating the same things I told a person this weekend. It is more unfortunate she did not share or appreciate the building process of a relationship. So this is a common phenomenon with social media, and people are hooking up with these old flames and destroying their relationships that they have built.
Yep.
Is it worth it?
I don't think so.
You mean
For me, personally, I don't think so. I gotta see. I'm at a point where I have to protect my investment.
There you go. Right?
I have too much invested, so I gotta protect my investment.
You sacrificed and you built your relationship. You guys know each other, and for something that has passed, some old fling or someone that, and you would see it as, oh, it's destiny because we reach up again.
That's what it was, destiny.
Yeah, some people would say it's destiny.
Oh yeah. They would. That's how they would see it. Oh, this was meant to be.
This was meant to be. We're back together.
Yep.
And you're losing what you built for years, and the commitment to the relationship.
Because the saying goes, what if you love something, you let it go, and if it come back, whatever.
That's ignorance. I think we Ty says, when you convince yourself that what you have is trash and better is out there, you fall into those traps, boy. I could give you a testimony about that.
Well, what will cause you to feel? Well, then again, you have to be in situations to know. As they see back home, if you don't live in your house, you don't know where the roof leaks. So, It is so much things that Sharmin, you know, because we could sit on one side and say, well, you know, we can do this, we can do that, or we should do this and we should do that. But in reality, we don't really know what caused it, because to every effect there must be a cause. And many times we just see the effects. We don't know what is the cause. So here's why we gotta go now to the root cause of why. I wish somebody out there got the answer to why do you do that. 718-342-0510.
Pastor Peter, why do you do that? Why do I don't understand it. I mean, you know, men have this thing about them, that they'll go out and hunt, and because they'll go out and hunt, but when you go out and hunt, you gotta come back home, eat your spoil outside and come back home, eat whatever you catch, and leave it there, and get back home and mend your relationship at home. Calling your live, welcome to Talk Time with Sharmin.
Welcome back, Empress. Welcome back. Happy Easter Monday to you. Happy Easter Monday.
Same to you, same to you,
Yes,
same to
brother
you.
Earl.
Oh my God, this right here, you have to laugh. I am sitting in the backyard and man, this is deep stuff. This is real deep stuff. It's a very good topic, very good topic. You guys are just going on with reality. Empress, you're asking why. I think the society we're living in today, because of the technology, this internet, like you keep saying, that Facebook, this quote, reconnection with old flames. I hate to say it, I sit down, that's why I sit and I listen. I do a lot of reading and see a lot of things. You see, this conversation, sad to say, it's part of everyday life today. It is part of everyday life. People are willing, like you said, to give up what you built. Pastor Peter, you said your investment, and I'm going to give up that for what? Something got to be wrong, but again, the society, I don't want to say it's a set of sick people out there. I want to use the word maybe gullible. Some of them are just gullible. But like, who just said it just now? Somebody text you just read. When they think the grass is greener out there, they get trapped at it. Nothing. Nothing. And like the other young lady said, they're throwing away deep, and this is wonderful. But here's the question I want to ask Empress and Pastor Peter. Can we ask if both parties were single? I'm not making an excuse, but let's say they're single. And like you said, one migrated and then they reached up again. How would that, is that the same thing, or do you consider that different?
Well, that's different if you're single,
Okay.
right?
Okay.
And you meet up each other for after how many years?
Yeah.
That's totally different. But if you're married and you have a family and you get up, you meet up. What?
I can't get, this is real, and this is why I have to call it that part that you ask, and I'm asking myself, why are you walking away from something you've invested in? Like you said, coaching fields, they have a butterfly, then we make it and get excited, but with that one side, you can't convince it's going to be this. Like you said, we are grown up. We are adults. We're not kids. We cannot love this that happens to ourselves in our society. We should stop it. Find a preaching that real talk, wonderful topic. We need to stop this. Keep our family together and stop destroying it. And it goes to both sexes, male and female. Keep families together, please. It hurt my heart. I read a lot of these news, and Be Sharmin, they're just nailing it every time they come on the radio station. I applaud you. Welcome back, my friend.
Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank
Let me
you.
go. This is wonderful. I said you love for the night. The brother is keeping the night. Thank you.
Thank you so much, brother Earl.
Good evening. Good evening.
Good
All
evening.
right.
And good evening, Sister Carla.
Yeah, I'll tell her that. I'll tell
Okay.
her that. I don't think she's doing it. Thank you.
All right. Bye-bye.
All right, brother. Yeah, God bless.
Let me see. Carrie said there can be many root causes of issues in relationship. The biggest one I have found, and it goes for both parties, is appreciation. It goes a long way. People in a relationship also need to accept that the only person you can control is yourself. As soon as you learn this behavior, it will improve your relationship. Great. Seville says, oh yeah, she said about the grass being greener on the other side. Yes, guys. I think if you're in a committed relationship, I want to say something, Pastor Peter, but yeah.
You're not the only one, Sean.
But I'm gonna say it anyhow.
I don't
Guys, you can't jeopardize your investment in a man or a woman for a fling. If you want this fling so bad, hey, but don't lose your relationship, your investment. You spend so much time. Somebody from 10 years ago, 20 years ago, 30 years ago showed up. Oh, I still have feelings for you. Really? You don't even know who I've become. How could you? You don't know me.
All right.
I've discovered who I am. You knew that person 20 years ago, 30 years ago. It's going to be difficult.
Mm-hmm.
Unless we knew each other, like when we were kids, you know, and didn't have a relationship, but now we made up. Both of us are single, and you know, we made it's possible that we can mingle,
Right.
right? But if you marry and I married, and maybe we had some attraction, no, maybe
No, to Sharmin, on a serious note, adults, you might want to move your kids.
Yeah.
Because I'm gonna get really serious now here because
Okay, this is about to go R. So please send the kids to the bedroom or something, because we're gonna take it a little R-rated for the next couple of minutes.
yes,
Because we need to get real.
we need to get real. Because when it comes to relationship, and a lot of relationship that is that you have infidelities in the beginning of the relationship, and this is where why many couples need to have a therapist or someone to talk to, because from the beginning of the relationship, many times what we do, men and women, we go above and beyond.
Of course, the whole queue.
All right. Now, when we get settled into that relationship, not the fault of the mind, but a slip of the tongue. Yes, when you get into that relationship, that above and beyond is gone. One of the most important thing, I think, in a relationship when it comes to both parties, intercourse.
Sex.
Yes.
Intercourse is something, I don't know where you get that from.
Sex.
Okay.
Let's put it that way.
There you go.
All right. Now, when you start having that man come home before, you're dating or whatever.
You're waiting for him. Let me help you, Pastor Peter.
Any minute of the day, any hour of the night, whatever. It's there. Suddenly,
You get the ring.
exactly. Now,
You're tired. You're going to bed in your pajamas.
you know, all the things that you used to, the above and the beyond, gone beneath.
Sharon, you hiding your face. You need to say, ouch. Right, Sharon?
All of that gone beneath. So now, and I'm talking both ways. I'm not saying this, when I'm saying this, I'm saying this in general, both male and female. So now, this person is accustomed one way. They're built up that way already.
You train them.
Exactly. So now when the absence of that comes into the relationship, and here comes what you call it, what was the word you call it? With the pictures and
the little 16-year-old.
Yeah, but you use a word
I don't
to describe. All right, but when that comes in now, the individual mind gone, because you're a human being.
Of course.
You are. You heard stories about pastors,
Oh.
about bishops, about ministers. So ain't nobody exempt from this.
No.
Your mind started go there. You know, like Ty was saying earlier too. You know, and you started little by little. It may not be intentionally to get into an act. All right, but you just start a little entertainment for my mind, just to stimulate my brain, and then whenever I can get whatever I get here, you know, I'll use that as a motivation or whatever, because sometimes you lose interest of what you have there, because that little sass in there anymore. You know, you gotta wait, and you gotta beg, and you go through all the, you know, by the time they say, well, okay, you don't want it anymore, because you're already turned off from that. So these are some of the problems that cause some of these things to happen in relationships. So what you got to do, if you cannot talk it out with each other, to let each other know, well, listen, you know, we need to start to do this, or we need to start to do that. We got to have an open mind in this relationship. We got to kick it up a notch here or a notch there. You understand? Every once in a while, you get wild. You go somewhere, you do something. Get somebody to babysit the kids. Go out, do something. Something fun, something that you would do when you're dating. Something that you probably would do with that individual that's sending you those videos and those pictures.
Excellent. Yep.
You understand?
Yep.
Instead of entertaining it, and you end up in Guyana and may lose your life or get robbed or whatever the case may be.
I get HIV.
Oh, there you go.
Call the condom pop.
Exactly.
And you didn't get the test results.
Exactly, of who you're getting involved with. So you see, there's so many scenarios out there. These are some of the problems, some of the issues that, you know, as couples, you need to sit down and talk it out. If you can't come to a compromise, you can't come to a solution, get help.
I agree. You know what, Pastor Peter? The social media and technology has crippled and damaged communication in relationships, because I sat in a room with a couple, and they're texting each other. That's how they communicate.
Wow.
And when I realized it, of course, you know me.
Yeah.
I'm going to say something. I said, you guys texting each other? And the wife was like, of course, that's how we communicate. I'm like, oh. It was like if it was normal. And I mean, I went in. I took the opportunity. This cannot be normal.
Right.
How could the two of you be in the same house and texting each other? It's like you're strangers. And I am sure, I know one of them might be listening, but I am sure the husband or the wife is communicating to someone else. Because
Exactly.
I can't. No, when you come in, you better put away your phone, and I'll do likewise. But we can't be in the same house and not communicating. We texting each other. What kind of nonsense is that?
True.
And one of the things, I can speak for the women. I don't know. I can't speak for the men, but a lot of times women lose their partners because we would go above and beyond to hook you.
Right.
Right? We're going to put the best bait on that hook. Right? Because we want to catch. Once we get that catch, we don't maintain the bait that we used to catch you. And that's unfair to our catch. Because when my catch opened the door, when he comes home, I'm sitting there with my stilettos and my negligee. But now when he comes in, I'm wearing my bonnet and my pajamas. I mean, look at the disparity between the two.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
And you expect him, what you expect when he gets that 21-year-old photograph with the body I used to have, he's going to be tempted.
Exactly.
And she's telling him the things that I used to tell him when I caught him.
Right.
So we just got to step it up.
and this is for for some of the females out there, don't feel any less of yourself if you put on a little more weight than when he met you, because you are still you.
It's life.
You are still you. You can still use what you got. So the stilettos will still work.
Of course.
And whatever else you used to do would still work.
They have plus size negligees.
And as Sharmin said, the bait that you use to get the catch, if you see that bait ain't working, change the bait.
Of course, you improve on it.
Of course.
You improve on the bait. Because I think as you get older, of course your libido is going to decrease. But there is so much to do.
Exactly.
Right? You guys, I mean the couple that I told you about, I said, do you guys have date night? She looked at me like, what are you talking about? I said, you guys don't have date night? You should have date night, even if it's just to cuddle up with each other and watch television. That's your date night.
Yep.
Or you cook a dinner and you have someone take the kids for 3 hours and you lay the table and you entertain each other.
Exactly.
You know, you put on your French maid outfit because the kids aren't home and you serve your husband. You know? I mean...
we could get some counseling session, you know. We can give you some tips. Don't get it twisted, you know. Listen, if you God give you this life, He give you a partner. This is why I'll just bring a little scripture in that says marriage is, Sharmin, you know the scripture. Marriage is honorable.
And the bed is undefiled.
All right.
You know?
If you understand what that means, some people are going to want to play too holy for put a different spin on it. But take it as it is written, in the context that it is written in. Whatever you do in your bed, that's for you.
Undefiled.
Undefiled. That's between you and your spouse.
I met this woman, she was an evangelist from Trinidad, beautiful woman. And I always remember, whenever I hear that scripture, she said, God put His stamp in the bedroom when you close that door as long as you're married.
Right.
God's stamp is on it. So, you know, there are no boundaries for you and your husband or you and your wife. And you have to keep that relationship spicy.
Yep.
But Pastor Peter, how we got here?
We talking family values and all of that is the values of the family, where relationships go wrong, where family get mashed up. Because as you were talking about a couple that's communicating on their devices, the kids would sit down and at dinner or whatever, you know, where dinner time at a table used to be for talking and
How was
eat
your
and
day?
exactly. Now everybody is in their fingers going. Even when you go into the restaurant, you see a whole big family sit down. They sit down. They went out. They sit down, and all the kids is texting and the adults is doing the same thing. There's no communication going on there. Hey, oh, okay. Can you pass me that? Okay, thank you. They gone again. No communication.
But that's where the family values. That's the signs of the deterioration of the family.
Exactly.
The family, because when do you communicate, or the child texts mommy? I was in a house and the child finished their homework and the child texts mommy to say, I'm finished with my homework.
Yep.
And mom said, okay, bring it, let me check. So I looked around and I said, what is that? And she's like, oh, he just texted me and told me that he's finished. I don't understand that. I think that once you get in the house, if you're a family, you drop the phones in a basket and you pick it up when you're leaving the next day. There is nothing that, especially if you have a home phone, or you just put the phone on ring, and people know that once you're home, they don't disturb you because it's family time.
Right.
Or everybody knows between 7 and 9 is family time.
Right.
But I mean, this technologically, it has advanced our lives. It has enhanced our lives. We're all technologically savvy, but technology has a negative impact on our relationships and communication.
Yeah.
Because before, a woman would take, if a woman see you and she likes you, Pastor Peter, she would have to plan 10 times her strategy to approach you. Now it's just the click of a finger and the movement of the finger texting, hey, I think you're cute.
Yep.
That's it.
Yeah. Back then.
That's it.
Back then you might not even hear it from her. You gotta hear it from a friend.
Friend, right. She would tell a friend that knows you, man, I like Peter. But now, it's like you're bold-faced, yo. And then you'll say, I have a wife. And they will say, I don't care.
So?
You know, someone texts me and asks, well, what if when you get, what do you do when sex was a problem from jump? But you ignore it. Now the man got comfortable and sex got worse with no hope.
Well,
Go to a sex therapist.
I would say if it was from jump, you shouldn't expect anything better.
You don't expect it to improve.
Exactly.
But you know, sometimes we ignore the obvious.
Right.
Because if he was never a sexter, I just made up that one. If he wasn't a sexter, when you met him, how would he develop that unless you teach him?
Right.
And is he teachable? You know, you can't teach old dogs new tricks. So that would be that's a difficult one.
Yeah.
That's really difficult. Sorry. Maybe a sex therapist would help you, teach you new strategies to help him. But if it's not there, it's not there.
Exactly.
And some people are so incompatible. You have some people that some men who has low libido and they have a nymphomaniac for a wife. Right? that kind of union is problematic, because if your wife like a lot of sex and you don't like a lot of sex, where is she gonna get it? She's gonna go outside.
This is why. And again, I'm going to refer to something that the Bible says, that marriage is something that you should not enter into without counseling. And any counselor that is counseling a couple that is about to get married should not be afraid to get into some personal stuff, because if you are putting your stamp of approval on this union, they're coming to you to see whether or not they are compatible, and you gotta get it from both sides. Counseling, just in case you don't know how counseling should be done individually and collectively when you come to that type of counseling, because one partner might not want to open up in front of the other partner. So if you're going to do the counseling, you got to do it. There are parts of it that you do individually, and then there are parts of it that you do collectively. And that counselor should be able to cover certain things and able to enlighten you to some realities, things that, if you don't see this or if you don't see that, how this would go, how that would go. Don't expect this, don't expect that, or you should expect this, or you shouldn't expect that. It's very important to have the right type of counseling too. Not just go and get married because you think, all right, we're ready to get married.
The number here is 718-342-0510. The last hour we're going to talk about, and I said women because I have never heard of a man, maybe they are men, who tell women they can't have contact with their children. That would be extremely outrageous.
But they are.
But that's what I'm saying. But it's few. It's mostly women. You get into a relationship, just as I said. You knew before you got into the relationship, this man has 7 children with 5 different women. So you got into this relationship. You got into a relationship with 12 other people plus your man.
Right.
I'm going to repeat that. You got into the relationship with 12 other people plus your man. You got into the relationship with the 7 children, the 5 children mother, plus the man. So you got into a relationship with 13 people. And you should have considered all of that before saying yes to the man.
Right.
Now that you are mistress whatever, you decided that you're going to tell this man that he can't have a relationship with those 13 people. Do you think that's possible? The number here is 718-342-0510. And I cannot understand how a woman can tell a man that he can't have a relationship with his child.
We can't understand.
I can understand if she said if he went out and he cheated and he got a child, and in her anger she said, I don't want that child in my house.
Right.
I can understand that. But you met this man with the 7 children, the 5 children mother, and you're telling him that he can't have a relationship with either one of those children. You looking to be divorced. Because number one, you can't separate the parent from his child. It's his child. What are the grounds? How can I come to you and say, Peter, well, you know, I don't want you to be. How can I formulate that statement
Right.
to you as a parent?
Sharmin, I have seen some cases where people are in their 50s and 60s, been married for over 30 something years. The man may have maybe 2 or 3 kids, maybe some few grands by now, because the kids are grown. If the man decided that, you know what, I want to help those kids that I have. Let's throw a scenario, say Guyana, because we Guyanese. These kids are in Guyana because, you know, they're not a part of your current situation. Right? You married, you have a few kids with this wife. Now, you want to help those kids now. Your kids are all grown up here. Let's say they gone off to college or finished their college or whatever the case may be. And the wife is saying that you and I work for this. You and I did this. You and I built this life. I don't care about your kids that you have dear.
But when she got into the relationship, he had those children there.
Yes.
Well, that's my point. I can't. You see, we have become so materialistic that we've lost the human side, the affection, the compassion for other because of materialism.
Yep.
And so the focus is not even on this is this man's child. This child or children came from out of his loins.
Yep.
How can I tell him we build this that Hurricane Sandy and whatever can come and take it away? And if I need a glass of water, the host can't give it to me. But if the children come, the child could give me a glass of water.
It's a sad thing to see because it's many cases. It's another scenario whereas let's say a man have a child or children or whatever the case may be out there, right? But individual met him with those kids or whatever.
As if he told her.
They fully aware.
Okay.
Right? Fully aware. Fully aware. They talks to the kids, everything. Kids and them are fine. Talking. As old people that say, come see me and come live with me, right? Now let's say one of those kids is in a problem. Whereas they need a place to stay, or you know, something is going on in their life that they just need somewhere to settle down, to regroup, and to get back out there. Do you think that wife should say to that husband that, you know what, that child is not welcome here? Because whatever it is that they did out there, whatever that caused them out there, you know, let them deal with whatever they're dealing with out there.
That one is a bit, if it depends. depends, because yeah, that one is a little sticky because especially if it's an adult child, and if the child did something out there and it's against my personal values, I may say to you, I don't want the child here, but let's rent a room for that child for the next 3 months and allow him or her to get themselves together.
Right.
But, sharing my space might be an issue depending on whatever that person did.
Right.
But I wouldn't say the child can't come here without having an alternative.
Right. I'll tell you, man, there's so many different cases out there that, when it comes to the kids and, being involved, where they cannot have a relationship with either parent because of the relationship that a person or individuals are in at the present time, or current time. There's another one where this young lady, she probably went through, I think, a child father, failed marriage, and then in another marriage. And the child been through all whatever she went through with these past relationships. So now here's another person that comes in the mix. Now this child started to act out a little bit.
Of course.
Because however they felt like, here we go again. And the way you were talking to my mother or whatever, I don't want to see that, what she went through before.
The child is having flashbacks.
Right. So now maybe because the child reacts a certain way or whatever, now the current husband is telling the mother that there's certain things that he doesn't want to see this child involved in their relationship. Let me throw the scenario out there, because this is an actual that what happened, because this is what the individual spoke to me about concerning. Say the husband came home, he bring 5 mangoes. She's bringing mangoes for her. She sat there. She sat there eating her mangoes, and he's gonna she give the son a mango, and he's gonna tell her, I didn't bring that for him. Don't give him anything. How would that play out?
No, Pastor Peter, no, that, no. We would have to have a conversation. This is my child.
Right.
My child has had traumatic experiences. And if it's a Guyanese, we don't believe in counseling and all of that. No,
right.
That child definitely needs counseling. One, Secondly, this husband need to know that you cannot tell me if you bring something in the house that I can't give my child. I'm holding it together here so I can keep it, say the right things, but no, Pastor Peter. He cannot tell me that I can't give my child what he brings in the house. And first thing, because she hasn't set boundaries with that, that is the reason he can say that.
Exactly.
But if she had set boundaries in the beginning, he would never have thought that. He would have been a little more compassionate.
Exactly.
About the child and the child's experiences.
Right.
Now here you are. You may not be repeating the things that the mother experienced, but you're abusing the child. Caller, you're live. Welcome to Talk Time with Sharmin.
Empress,
Yes.
let me help you before you go up. Okay, let me.
Oh, thank you,
I
Jesus.
think there's two parts. I'm going to give you two responses. The first one is I think people like that are just mean. They are just mean. And we have to keep it real. There's no going around, no sugarcoating it. Because this topic here, again, and I'm my dinner, but I have to come in and let it turn track. Let me say it up. Regional good evening again. It's the reality. And you people sitting out there, I think some of you knows about this. You know about this topic. You know people facing these situations every day. This is the way of life. But those are mean people. Mean. The example you give when you came into this relationship, you came in and became 13. This is a family. If one bread come in, a bread got to cut, all 13 got to eat. If it can't work, if that can't happen, you know what? We better turn back early. Because it has become a family. And to listen to these examples, and again, it is happening out there. They are out there. Those are the main ones. Queen Sharmin, you showed compassion. You showed compassion when you said, you know what? Because of circumstances, you didn't want to elaborate. You gave an example. You showed compassion. And that was wonderful because I said, you know what? We can't just throw the kids out here. We always do. We have to look out for our kids. So you showed compassion. You said, you know what? We will rent him or her a room for 3 months. And if that child is serious about getting their life on track, they will say, you know what? My parents still give me, let me do what I got to do. You showed compassion, but those mean people, those are not people to be with. You cannot be happy. The kids will not be happy. Like you're going up with a conversation of the effect it's going to have on these kids. And these kids will need counseling. They will need it because you're destroying their mind. They constantly seeing this, so you know, like you said, the flashbacks they're having. Listen, keep the topic going, but please stay straight, okay? I know, I feel your pain and I am controlling it too, but just get it out there.
Thank you, Brother Earl.
All right, brother.
Really, all right.
Thank you, Brother Lord Earl, for always protecting us.
Yep.
Yeah. Because I was gone. Thank you.
718-342-0510 is the number. That's 718-342-0510 is the number to call. Or you can place your comments or your feedback in the live feed. If you're on the live feed, if you're on my feed, you're on Sharmin feed, you can place your feedback and we'll read your feedback also. All right, so that's 718-342-0510.
I have a reality corner.
You got reality corner? Okay.
So my reality corner this week is, what if, and this is reality, you you decide that, or your spouse got up from the laptop, and you just happen, you don't search your spouse's phone, you don't search his inbox, you don't know his password, but he just got up, or she just got up and left their social media messenger open. And when you sat at the desk, a picture came in, and it's a picture of a nude, it's a nude picture. How are you gonna handle it?
Reality time.
That's my reality corner.
Boy, oh boy. I would like to be a fly on the wall to see how that would handle. If it's a baseball bat. I could imagine what will happen to that laptop.
Reality corner. Your spouse got up and left their account, their social media account open. You were not praying, you just sat down to use the same device. And ping, a nude photo came in.
Wow. I don't know. Reality check, folks. What would you do?
718-342-0510.
Let's take a quick music break.
Yep.
We come right back. All right. And this one is this is an old school from my brother all the way out in Texas, man, when he used to be in New York. This is Pastor Kevin, old school.
Someone to love, someone to trust, someone to depend on, someone to know, someone to love, someone to trust, someone to depend on, someone to know.
I was sitting all alone, reflecting on my life. All the hurts and pain brought me through and strife. Lonely, lonely days and lots of sleepless nights. My mind messed up, I'm in a zone of twilight. Cry myself to sleep, not in and not out. Everything I did was destroyed without a doubt. In love is in love, I had love. Where is my friends? Where is my stuff? I had nothing to pay, nothing to hold. What if I died would become of my soul? I heard about Jesus, give him a try. He took my word around now. God forgive me. God forgive me.
718-342-0510 is the number. 718-342-0510. This is Talk Time with Sharmin. Every Monday night from 6 p.m. to 9 p.m. Vibes Up Radio HD on your dial. And you can get the app in your app store, or you can get us on TuneIn Radio also 24/7. Yep, Vibes Up Radio for you. Yes, Miss Sharmin, so you got some feedbacks.
I got some feedback from my reality corner. Pamela said all hell would break loose. Hold on. Lisa said, it depends. If it was unsolicited, I would get crazy. So if it was unsolicited, Sharon said, it's time for that conversation. Everything can be talked. I guess she's gonna talk it through. She wants to know, well, how it appeared there, what happened. She's gonna investigate.
Okay.
Marcel said, I would have to take a minute and say a long prayer. Because there were half a dozen reasons why the picture could have been there. So, I like the logics. I like the optimism. I like that women didn't just jump to the conclusion. But what if it's the man go to sit at the computer and he sees his wife just got up and he just decided to go sit and browse, and he sees this nude picture of another man.
Script flip.
These women will pray. These women would talk, but what would the man do? What would the brothers do? Can the brothers handle something like that? Reality check. Reality corner. However, Pastor Peter, someone sent me a message, and they said, where were you before they got married so that you could have provided them some counsel?
Or well, there are many couples, so
no, well, they're married already. They just want to know where you were, because they could have benefited.
Okay.
Yeah, that went over your head.
Oh, yeah. Totally.
They could have benefited from your counseling, but it's too late. However, also, one of the things that we can touch on before we, because we were on the last half-hour stretch.
Yeah.
There are some parents, we spoke about parents who don't want their spouse kids to come around.
Right.
But then what about the parents of the child who don't want them around the stepmother or stepfather? The new addition to the family. It's like, I don't want my daughter around your wife.
Right.
Or I don't want my daughter around your husband. So the only time you're going to see my child is if you come here, or if you're taking her or him out. But I don't want your new spouse around my child.
That's a tough one.
Ladies, how would you handle that? If you are married to someone and they have children, and you may have children, and you want your child or children to meet their siblings, but the parents of the siblings are saying they don't want the child around you, how would you handle that?
Touchy.
It's touchy, right?
Very touchy.
Ah.
Very, very touchy there. That's why we are here. 718-342-0510 is the number. That's 718-342-0510. I wonder how many of our listeners probably in a similar situation.
You know, people are all masked up past the people. No one is taking off their mask to expose themselves to you.
Yeah, that you know that thing started. That mask started. Things started growing me. You know, because the more I hear people talk about it, you know. Good night, quality of life.
Pastor Peter,
Yes, sir.
I need your response. The female answer quick. Answer quick. You haven't responded. DJ Deadly, good evening, brother, and I'm calling you DJ Deadly. Where are you to answer that question? Pastor Peter, I need you to respond.
But Brother Earl, what you need me to respond to, Brother Earl?
The reality check, this flip side, right, Brother Earl?
Let's ask the question since you are not, maybe you're not there. I know you're busy checking the response, but let me repeat the question, Pastor Peter.
Mm-hmm.
It has flipped now. The man who's the computer after his wife just got up.
Uh-huh.
And here is, and men, I'm giving you some hints here, please. You got up, Pastor Peter, from the computer, and you forgot to lock it with your password. You and your wife share that same computer. She still having to sit there now to do something. There. A picture of a male pops up there. How are you going to handle that, Pastor Peter?
Thank you, Brother Earl.
But Brother Earl.
Don't why are you studying, Pastor Peter? I'm calling out DJ Deadly too, and all my brethren them out there. You guys need to respond. Those women answer quick and got us. But brothers, I just said it. When you get up from that computer, password, lock it. And you know what? Lock it. Because they're going to sneak up behind you and things will happen. So first thing, but when you Sharmin, you are cold with this reality God tonight. Oh my God. You are cold. Pastor Peter, I'm going to hang up and wait for your response.
Okay, Brother Earl.
Your time.
Okay. All right. So in response to Brother Earl, you know, in response to Brother Earl. Yes, in response to Brother Earl, sorry about that. Brother Earl, my phone and my computers and my devices need no lock. Because if anything pop up there, that got to be a spam. It got to, bound to, have to be a spam. Now, if it's on the flip side, you got some explaining to do. If you could prove to me that it's a spam, then okay, you're off the hook. But if you cannot prove to me that that's a spam, now I'm gonna want to do some more investigating to see the trend, because it must be a trend, right? If it's like a text, I text you, you reply. You text me, I reply. I have to see the trend of what was going on there. And then we'll take it from there. So that is my response, Brother Earl.
Deadly, I don't think Deadly is listening, but guys, Brother Earl called you guys out. Called you out. Calling your live. Welcome to Talk Time with Sharmin.
Hello.
Good evening. You're live. Hello.
Hi. Hello.
Yeah. Just listen to your phone.
Okay. I was responding to the children
Yeah.
being the parents not wanting. I've been on both sides of that fence. I've been married and my children are involved with the stepmother, and then my ex's children. And here's the problem. I don't make a big fuss about it. I let her get to know me. If I have to call the house to speak to my ex, I introduce myself. I say, this is who I am, and this is why I'm calling. And I let her know exactly why I'm calling her home and what I want to deal with. And after she got to know me, she decided that I was a nice enough person, so she didn't mind my kids coming around her. And then, on the other hand, with my husband's children, I got to know their mother very easily. I treated them, her kids, nicely, and they were able to go back and say that this is how I'm being treated. And until they started to call me mom. And she accepted me. When I go on vacation, I stay with them. I spend time with them, and it's one big happy family. But the whole thing is that you have to be God to everybody that you meet, or else, the way you behave and the way you treat people, you will want to be treated. So you act that way and you behave that way towards others, because I want you to like my kids, and therefore I have to like your kids, so that we can all get along well. And you have to treat people nicely, because come on, you want your children to be treated nicely too. So you just have to do what's the right thing.
Thank you for calling. I have a question for you. If you had to give a young couple advice that is experiencing the same thing, this young man has children from a previous relationship, could be a marriage, and now he is married to a young woman who don't want to have any dealings with the children from the previous relationship. What would be your advice to that young couple?
They should have sat and talk about it. The thing about it is that people do not sit and talk about the expectations in their marriage before they get married. So the first mistake they make is not to talk about what expectations they have in their marriage. Well, it's too late for that now. They're married or they're in a relationship. So the thing he has to do is, since he did not do that, he needs to, he needs to not talk badly about his ex, first of all, to that present woman. Because a lot of times when we talk badly about our exes or our present, it sets a precedent for how they will treat the children. Because they're thinking that those children are an extension of the parents.
Yep.
So they're looking out to see nasty children, bad children, because they are projecting that ex's spouse behavior onto their children. So first of all, you can't talk bad about your ex. You don't talk bad about them to your present, and vice versa. So if he has said stuff to this present woman about the ex, so that she don't want to see those children. So he needs to stop if he's doing that. And then he needs to do some, just give her time to in little ways, get to know the children, spend little time. Go to McDonald's and have a meal. Go to the park and let her interact with the kids with little time. Not a whole weekend or anything like that. A couple hours at a time. So she can see those children in a different environment, in a different light. And then slowly she may be able to become, a little more receptive towards the kids coming over and getting to know the kids. But if he had spoken badly about that ex, he has already damaged the relationship that woman would have with those children. And that's something we have to be very careful about. We can't go about keep talking badly about our ex. What does it say about me, who slept and have all these children with you? That he's a dog, he's a pig, he's a whatever. So I would treat him as a dog and a pig and it doesn't say much about me, you know what I mean? So we gotta be careful with stuff like that.
Wow, thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Before you go,
it's what you're doing.
thank you so much. And before you go, the reality corner. If you go on the computer and you're not prowling, you're not trying to find, you're not invading your husband's privacy. But as you sat down, in picture of a naked young woman comes up on the screen because someone just sent it. How would you deal with that?
Well, I'm that person that says I take a long prayer. I have to pray because the problem is I do not know why that picture is there. Like I said, there are a million reasons why that picture could be there. Somebody could be trying to gain my husband's attention. And if that, and she could be trying to be nasty, you know, like knowing that if I need ears, I jump to conclusions. And one of our problems again as women is that we want to start an argument. We cannot treat our husbands and our men with this anger problem and want to lash out. We have to not react to situations, but we have to sit down and calmly approach situations because sometimes, you know, he might have seen it and that's why he got off the computer, but forgot to clear it off. He might have gotten up from the computer because he saw it and he was like, this is nonsense, and got up and he forgot to clear it. And I must have trusted this man to have a relationship with him. So I've got to trust his response to me when I approach him about it. But if I go to him reacting and I'm vexed and I'm angry and I'm start getting on bad, he's going to shut down. He's not going to want to talk to me. We're going to have a discussion. I'm going to be angry because he's not going to say nothing. That's how men react. They're going to shut down. If I come mad, he's going to shut down at me. And so I'm not going to get a response from him. And, you know, now we leave with I'm mad, he's shut down, and I'm thinking, well, it must be lying, it must be true, this whatever. And I know I saw something before, and then you're going to go off in a tantrum because you're going to remember something from a year ago, 2 years ago, and then it's going to blow up. So I have to approach him calmly to get him to open up to me for us to have a nice discussion, maybe cook a nice meal and sit down with him and talk calmly and nicely about it. And, you know, stroke his ego, and then he'll tell me whatever is going on. So,
Wow.
I love this caller, man. I love this caller.
It's called maturity.
Exactly.
It's called experience.
There you go.
It's called experience. And you have to, in a marriage relationship, you have to treat your husband, your relationship, the way you want to be treated. I cannot treat my husband nasty and miserable and think that he's going to want to come home to me. I have to treat him the way that I would want him to treat me. And in that way, he will learn something, and then he'll begin to treat me the way that I want to be treated. So we can't lash out and get mad and angry and then want to know why he's behaving like this, why he's on the computer looking at naked women, because we're not giving him what he wants. So how is he going to turn to us? So we have to understand and learn his love language so that we can give him what he wants.
You see, she come back and covers what we did earlier, right?
Thank you so much.
Everyone's welcome, and this is my first time on, and I find it very interesting, and I've learned a lot listening.
Thank you so much, and I hope that this wouldn't be your only time
No,
on.
trust me, it wouldn't. I will definitely call in and look again, and listen again.
Okay, thank you so much. You
You
too.
too. All right, bye-bye. So, Sharmin, I really like her. That's very, very intelligent, very mature of her, you know. I'm so sad to see that you know, so many of us, we can't be in that place.
But
To handle
that's
a
a
situation like that.
yeah, but that's a place that you grow into. If you had asked her that question 20 years ago, she may not have responded that way.
Right, because she said
Right?
experience.
Yeah. So that's why I said that it's difficult for me to meet anyone that I dated 20 years ago and say, "Oh, I'm still in love with you." This was meant to be. Can't be. You know, because we grow. And we've grown, and I don't know if you have grown. So,
True.
interesting. I have some, but you know, Pastor Peter, there's some women who would not allow their children to go with their fathers except the grandparent is around.
True. So true.
I mean, sometimes you hear some stories that are they're just outrageous.
out of this world.
They're just outrageous because the two of us made a child.
Right.
Okay, we ended the relationship on a sour note. It was not an agreeable ending.
Right.
But now I have to suffer. I can't see my child unless there is a third party, like if I'm going for a supervised visit. If women, if you are listening under the sound of if you're listening to me right now, and you are doing that, you opted for supervised visits for your child. Listen to, there is a rapper called N as in Nancy and F as in Frank. He is a gospel rapper. He sounds just like Eminem. But you should listen to his music. And you listen to his, because he sings with a lot of emotion. When he is talking about his mother and the supervised visits, when he has to sit with a stranger who knows nothing about their lives just to be with his mother. You think about your child, what you're telling your child, that the father or the other parent is not to be trusted, because there has to always be a third party. That's what you're teaching your child. That a third party is needed. So you're teaching your child mistrust and not to trust their parent. And if the parent is a woman, not to trust women. And if the parent is a man, not to trust men. And if your child is a girl child, think about what you're doing to your child. Just because you're bitter, just go get some help. Sometimes some relationships are just not meant to be.
Right.
The number here is 718-342-0510. We have 10 minutes. 718-342-0510. Lisa said, well, there goes our ice cream date, Sharmin. Yes, the number here is 718-342-0510. I don't know. Caller, you're live. Welcome to Talk Time with Sharmin.
Before you go to break, I love that caller, like Pastor Peter said. She's a very good caller. Like you're speaking about this situation, you haven't used the word, the psychological effect it's having on the kids. The psychological effect, and how and when would you be able to fix/correct that? The psychological effect, but again, I am hurting the pain I feel for this conversation. Those are mean parents. Ask the question, do they love their own kids? Ask the question, do they love their own kids? Why must a child have a stranger? She said, I don't know you. I can't say what I want, I'm not comfortable. You are damaging that child psychologically, maybe beyond repair, and it needs to stop. Another call is coming. A wonderful show.
Thank you so much, brother.
All right, brother.
Yeah.
I give the example of NF, Pastor Peter. I think I had asked DJ Andrew to play some of his music, because NF, especially his album Therapy and the one Mansion talks about our mask. And the one Therapy, and then he talked, why he asked his mother, why did you leave us? And I think it's in that song when he said about her saying that she's coming and she never showed up. And then when they have the supervised visit, and even now he's an adult, it still affects him. So, as Brother Earl said, I didn't use the word psychological effects, but it's psychologically damaging that you have to have a third party, or you're telling the child, you can't go to your father because I don't want you around that woman, or I don't want you around the man. Or even the example that you give, Pastor Peter, where he brought in 5 mangoes and is telling her that she can't give her child a mango. You take your mango and your bags and go through the door.
Yep.
There you go. Take your mangoes and your bag and leave, and leave me and my child. That child already has suffered so much trauma and needs help. And now here it is, another man shows up and is treating him poorly.
Yep. Oh wow, I tell you, man. I grew up in a house back home where there were so many people in that house that it's like the whole village used to be there. Everybody used to be in the yard. When it's time to go in the farm, you don't belong to the family. You don't belong. You just live in the neighborhood, and everybody just there. We go, we cook, we eat, anybody throw down anywhere and sleep. It was, so I kind of grew up with that. So when I see certain things, I'll be like, how people can do these things. It's like you bring your family here. This is another topic for another time. Bring your family here. You encourage them to come to America, and you give them 2 weeks to get out of your house.
Or when they come, you put a padlock on the fridge.
Exactly.
That's another topic.
Yeah, another topic. But just to show you that the values. My son is 12, and his mom and I, we do anything, whatever. She always tell him, I hope you're taking notes what your father does. Because when you grow up and you get your wife, you get your girlfriend or whatever, know how to treat the woman. Because when he was younger, an incident happened in school that a girl was picking on him. She was always picking on him, and he said he tried his best to avoid her. He did, and one day she just got, she pushed him over the edge and he hit her. So, the teacher called and complained or whatever that, he hit the girl, and, he had, I didn't even have to say anything. His mom gave him a talking, and he understand from that. He never ever do that. Any girl try to pick on him or whatever, come to find out the girl just was picking on him because she liked him. Well, it's kids, right? So, but at least, if these kids are not being able to brought up with these types of values and those morals or whatever, it's going to damage them, like the incident that I'm telling you about there with that young child. And I think he's around my son's age too. I think he's around 12.
But mom needs to get that child some counseling.
Yeah.
That child needs help. And I'm sure the stepfather is not saying whatever in the child's absence. The child is aware that this is what the stepfather is saying. Especially a 12-year-old is more sensitive and has more understanding. And you can imagine my stepfather's brought 5 mangoes and is saying to my mother, I brought it for you, I didn't bring it for him. How could you separate me from my child?
Yeah.
Oh boy. This is our last 5 minutes, guys. Thank you for tuning in to Talk Time with Sharmin. I read a letter earlier.
I think you should read that letter again.
Why are you in my... I am about to read it again because it's the right thing to do. It's a long letter and it's going to... But I want you guys to listen. It has a lot of parts. So it's addressed to Talk Time with Sharmin, of course, me. I felt compelled to write a brief history, giving my testimonial. People in general frequently write disparaging letters when they have been wronged, less so when they have been rescued. More on that in a moment. Over the past several days, there's a video gone viral of an older gentleman aboard a United Airlines plane forcibly removed from his paid-for seat. Apparently, UA overbooked the flight and needed to remove 3 passengers. As crew members randomly selected bodies for removal, this gentleman's luck ran out. He refused to comply with the crew orders and police were called. You can easily guess what happens next. The gentleman would not leave, so 3 burly police officers physically pounced on the gentleman, threw him to the floor, and dragged him out. Mind you, no crime was ever committed, so no arrest could have been made due to the fact his seat was prepaid. Now, imagine a 2-year-old child with a stubborn will, defying the will of an adult, the adult and protector of this child. In order to get the child to comply, physically imposes his will on this child, mostly through physical violence and sometimes through physiological terror. Unlike the gentleman above, this child has nowhere to go. This child whom I know, this adult whom I know as my biological father physically beat me without mercy, using his hands, his foot, or with any available instrument within reach. Curiously, never a belt, because belts were too wimpy for this career military officer. Modern psychology insists memories are terribly unreliable, yet in my case, the physical marks which endure to this day are unmistakable. I continue to have vivid memories, reflecting back to my childhood. In fact, the only memories I have of my first 15 years of existence was for the sole purpose of being annihilated by this imposing adult. Many years later, enter Sharmin Prince, whom I have now known for quite some time, and yes, she knows my situation intimately. After nearly 4 decades of counseling in psychology, psychiatry with hospitalizations and psychotherapy, Sharmin Prince strolls into my life. I've never told you this, but our encounters have been life transforming. You have made me a better father, a better brother, and a better person. If not for your sage advice over the years, I would be in a state of perpetual despair. For years, I felt I had no value. Sadly, I would treat others based upon my flawed perception of reality. To fill the emptiness, I would often drown my pain with cocaine. Yeah, you see, cocaine was my confident and self-aware. Cocaine made me self-confident and self-aware. Cocaine made me feel. As I navigate through this sojourn we call life, I've discovered courage, true courage, not macho BS, often displayed by pop culture. It's a very rare commodity. You have this unique quality in abundance. Thank you so much for that. I don't know where or how you got it from. Perhaps it's genetic or perhaps it's divine inspiration. Nevertheless, to share your courage live on the radio every week is breathtaking to behold. How many more souls have you reached from despair? We may never truly know. Stripped down to our bare essential, many of us, I suspect, are lonely, petty, jealous, covetous, and also scared souls, which may be why we wear masks. We all have to serve somebody. We either serve our families and by consequence the human race, or we serve our own vain desires. Sharmin Prince, with your perpetual optimism, you have somehow forced me to remove my mask and confront my personal demons. How have you accomplished such a task? I'll never know. You have rescued me from a life of misery. In a world where it is easy to take the innocence of a child, there must be those who fight for the defenseless. You fight for all who do not have a voice or cannot muster the courage to fight back. Here's hoping Talk Time with Sharmin has a long life.
Very touching. See, you never know who's listening. You never know the impact that you're having on their lives. Well, it's 4 minutes after 9, but I just want to touch a little piece of music before we get out of here to encourage some of the mothers out there and the kids.
Tone 2, Cue the Prophet. This joint is so soulful right here. I think I'm gonna take him to church on this one, for real. It all began when a chocolate black dude met this fine teen with a fine drink who would becoming a fine queen. His eyes gleam, so he scooped her like ice cream. She's pregnant, expecting a child at age 19. Now a fine scene when news hits the pop's ears. Pregnant and not married, you wasted lots of years. She cried lots of tears by her aunt's misfortune. She wasn't forcing what they're saying, only fell to the dirt. Take mom studied her work and she dealt with her hurt. No looking back, it's only time to go forth. At 10:10 Monday morning, she birthed a male child to the earth. 0 ounces, pounds was 8. Held the child in the air and said a prayer. Lord, make him great. Lord, forgive me, but he's not a mistake. And God said you were given him so good. Romans 8:28. Plans to take this child special and wanted to find it. She gave him a name that meant he would show God's kindness. She often taught him how to pray and to keep God first. Every Sunday kept the boy in church. She was working 2 jobs while finishing school. I only used the illustration as a witnessing tool. I had this team stood despite a baby dad and a band did her wrong. A situation cold war would only make her strong. Hold on.
Now this young son had everything going for him. Good morals, good education, good family. But deep in his heart he was very discontent.
Raised on principles, values and morals. His heroes loyal like a tree rooted in soil. His mom's treated him royal because of his upbringing. And his story was spoiled. Cats picked on him and dissed him till his tongue would boil. Church played him, thugs persuaded, peer pressure would set in. Rebellion crept in his melon, got him thinking like a felon. And the moms ain't tight, blends up over they pipe. Ran the streets reckless like cab drivers at late night. No more God on Sunday. Off to the streets for fast money, fast girls and gunplay. The good apple and turn rotten is what some say. It's upset, God will change his life one day. Was it the hood he was raised in? The hood he was raised in? Until a good boy a bad boy like Michael Basin. If you look into his heart, you would see it's very clear. Was the kid sort of poor cause his pops was really there? But the things that his mom taught him never left him. In fact, the things his mom taught him only kept him. And with God's grace, the boy got by in the hood. It didn't allow the young boy to just die in the hood. Once in the putting in work. Heads wanted him murk. They try to put the boy under the dirt. Prayer changes things, the boy made a logical turn. Mama's only pride and joy when prodigal returns.
Now after the near-death experience, he received Christ as his Lord and Savior. Now he's on the path to destiny and destiny.
Now he's born again. All things have passed away, no longer a castaway. He will trouble the last away to pass his history. Dead in his misery for smoking hickory. Sipping Hennessy, Jesus Christ, new energy, chemistry, birth, ministry. From running with pushes to running with a pastor. He used to roll with Dutch, now he's rolling with the master. The kid has seen the wildest things. Through Christ became a man and he put away the childish things. Mom is so proud to know and see her boy is doing better. Overcoming the stormy weather, getting himself together. Others said he would amount to nothing. God took the young man, turned him around and he made him something. Words were abolished, young men increased in knowledge. Finished high school at 17, went straight to college. Acknowledged his pops, rather than I bother. But his mom's convinced him.
I don't care who he is, he's still your
He
father.
regrets, yo, growing up being a knucklehead. To his mom's things he upset at being misled. Mama before she leaves this earth. Though we never finish college, history's of a South. Dreams of one day changing the face of hip hop. Save a lot for God's glory when the soul is all done. To every child of your moms, cause you only get one. I love you, Mom. I want to give you your flowers now while you're alive and breathing. Than to give it to you stepping over you grieving. Train up a child in the way they shall go. And one the older won't depart from the things that was told. The one in the flows are less valuable as the gold. This what happens when you let God's word unfold. Train up a child in the way they shall go. And one the older won't depart from the things that was told. The one in the flows are less valuable as the gold. This what happens when you let God's word unfold.
Yeah, that's the voice of Mr. Q, the prophet. If you see that young man now. Woo! I tell you, man. I gotta say shout out to all the mothers that hold it down. You know, even all the single mothers
Shout out to my mama.
that hold it down.
My mama held it down.
I got me Sharmin here today.
And thank you for all the thanks to all of our callers, all of our Facebook viewers, all of our listeners on the TuneIn app, all of our listeners on the internet. Thank you to Mr. G that wrote that letter. Thank you for trusting me, and thank you for those kind words. Thank you for opening up so that transformation can take place. Because if you didn't open up, I can, share how much information, and nothing would have occurred. So thank you for opening up and trusting me. Thanks to the first-time listeners, Vanessa, Marcel. Thank you guys. I hope that you enjoyed the show and you walked away with something that you can share with someone, and you become a regular to the show. And thanks to all our regulars, Sharon James and everyone else. I saw my two sisters tune in. Thank you, Jenny and Shondell. I met Seville when I went to Grenada. I didn't even share my experience with you guys in Grenada, but it was a very good.
Oh, we see your experience.
Yeah, but Brother Earl didn't see it. Brother Earl is not on Facebook.
Oh.
So thank you again. Next week, Ty would be here with a wonderful topic, interesting topic, with DJ Andrew. I will be in Texas.
Sharmin, I gotta put a leash on you.
I know, right?
I gotta put a leash on you, man. I can't keep up with you. Yep, so once again, we just want to thank everybody. So Brother Earl and what's his name? Ricky and everybody, thank you to those of you that take the time out to log on to my Facebook also, and my live feed, and all the first timers, all the first time listeners. I hope you will continue to listen to Talk Time with Sharmin every Monday from 6 p.m. to 9 p.m. and listen to the Vibes Up Radio. They have a lot of music to your likings. Sunday night mix-up show. I always enjoy that. Sunday morning, starting out with the gospel.
Tune in Sunday morning from 9 o'clock. Just leave your radio. If you have not downloaded the app, please download the app. Tune in at 10 o'clock on Sunday morning and just leave your radio on that radio station until 9 o'clock, because the Sunday night mix-up comes on at 6. And they discuss topics that are really mixed up and interesting also. And then
call it topic mix up because it's
good topics that fit the title of the show.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like last night, I got late. I got in late, but I joined it at the end. Last night was a very good mix-up show. I really enjoyed it, but then they stopped at 8 o'clock. So you can tune in to Lady Mika and the lovely Samantha on Sunday evenings from 6. And thank you guys for tuning in.
Yep.
And we'll see you next Monday, 6 p.m.
So before
6 p.m. to 9 p.m.
Before we get out of here, you know, we never leave you without a word of prayer. So right now, Father, we thank you, Lord, for Vibes Up Radio, for the platform that you have provided. Thank you for Talk Time with Sharmin, oh God. Thank you for the topics, oh God, that you keep bringing to us, oh God, that we can empower your people, oh God, that we can make those that are unaware of situation that's going on in life, oh God, to be aware, Lord. We just give you praise, we give you thanks, we give you honor and glory right now, oh God. Everyone that is under the sound of my voice tonight, my God, I pray that you will cover them, oh God, with your blood, oh God, and that you will keep them, oh God. Lord God, cover their families, oh God, keep their families, oh God, in the name of Jesus Christ. Father, we give you praise, thanks, honor, and glory. In Jesus' name.
Amen.
Amen.
Keep your radios locked to New York City's high energy station.